Hi guys, I'm gonna do this Q&A video again because the last time I tried, last week, before I went up to New York, I filmed everything and posted it on YouTube, and a friend of mine said the audio wasn't working, so I thought, so I have to do it, see if the original video file has the sound. I checked, no sound at all, so I have to film it all over again. But I can film it again because of I had to get ready for going on holiday and all that. So I said on Twitter that I'm gonna do refilm everything when I get back, and here it is. So apologies to the people who are waiting for their questions to be answered, and what I'm gonna do now. So apologies again. So let's get the questions going, shall we? How and what got me into comic books? The what would be the death of Superman and the return of Superman, and how did I get if I remember correctly, because it was a long time ago. I was going shopping with my mum, and I just happened to see the graphic novels, and because it was Superman, I knew who the character was, and I wanted to read it. So my mum must have gotten bored with me, because I didn't have any money. See, I was like 6 or 7 when I read them. So my mum must have bought it for me. Well, she's the only person who could. So yeah. Death and Return of Superman was the graphic novel / comic that got me into comic books, and the storyline was fantastic. It's the Death and Return of Superman. It's the most iconic Superman storyline ever. So having to read that as the first graphic novel to get into the world of comic books, it was a good starting point, because it's worth reading one of the most iconic stories. But after that, I got into it, and I bought more graphic novels, like the Lois and Clark show, the TV shows airing during the time. They had a tie-in comic. I got that, and The Wedding and Beyond, where Clark and Rose got married. I got that as well. And it's the 90s graphic novels. So I'm started to get them after the Death and Return of Superman, which I really enjoyed. So I recommend to the people who haven't read it, I'll suggest you go and read it. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for the question. How do you shoot webs? Interesting. I would say, if you're lucky, going to a science lab, that deals with experimenting on spiders, making them into radioactive stuff, and find a spider that is radioactive, and let it bite you, and that there might be some side effects to when you got bitten. So just before you go, I'll suggest you get ready. Just have some little cream, or have your bed ready just in case you need to collapse on whatever, and so you feel comfortable when you actually wake up in the morning, if you do wake up in the morning, and if you are successful, and I'll be expecting to see you on the news dressed up as Spider-Man or somewhere. If you get spider powers and don't dress up as Spider-Man, honestly, you get lawyers onto you saying copyright stuff. You don't want to get into that. You don't really. It's just have a little, creative in your design of the suit. Just stay away from the red and blue and this book. Well, you probably know what you need to do, so let's get at the right. And I hope you succeed in getting spider powers and eventually, shoot webs. Hope that helps your question, and thank you for that question. It was a funny one. The 3 must-read graphic novels to prepare for Man of Steel. I recommend. I've got the books here for you, and the first one is Secret Origin. You gotta read Secret Origin, because as the title says, Origin. So it's the story, modern take. Well, it was about, I think, back in 2010. So it's a recent origin for Superman, pre-52, of course. So yeah, it's Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, the art. Fantastic origin for Superman. It's a mini series with 6 issues, and the first one just takes place entirely in Smallville, and in the first issue we see Clark as a young kid, 14, 15 I would say, and we actually see him grow as the issues goes, and we get to see becoming Superman, going to Metropolis. We get to see the friendship between Clark and Lex, in a way, and we get to see the introduction of Superman in the first appearance, and we get to see Metallo, we get to see Parasite. It's a fantastic story. I recommend you to read it. The second one is also an origin story of Superman, and it's back in 2004 if I remember correctly. And like I said, an origin story for Superman, and it's Birthright. And it's it even says here the origin of Man of Steel. So ever since they announced this Man of Steel, it's going to be made and everything, I'll say all and most people say this is the #1 source material for the film. So with that, it's the origin film, origin book for Superman. It's your choice if you want to read that first or Secret Origin, but it's entirely up to you. See, they're about the same in the sense of an origin story, but they're both completely different. It's a fantastic story, It's, when I first bought it, it was just brilliant. The art is fantastic, It's definitely a must read for a new fan of Superman, or already a fan of Superman kind of thing. So yeah, that's Superman Birthright. Don't pick that up. The third book isn't really connected to Man of Steel in any way. The only reason why I picked Superman Last Son is the interaction between Superman and General Zod. Zod in this is the main villain of the story arc. I'll suggest you to read to see the the fight between Superman and Zod, and so they're both Kryptonians. So you're getting an idea of their characters when reading this to prepare for the film, because obviously it's going to be Zod and other Kryptonians in it. So you just get the idea of his character and why is he fighting Superman? Why is he doing all this? So it's a good book to see the character of General Zod, to get an idea of him before going to see the film. So that's why I picked this. It's got nothing to do with the film itself. It's just I just recommended it because of the characters in this. So so I don't really have much graphic novels that has General Zod as a main villain. But there's another book that I can say that is the New Krypton storyline. So I suppose if you want to read more of the character, you can go read that if you want. But this is my favourite graphic novel of all time, and it just happened to have General Zod in it. So that's why I recommend it, because it's my favourite, and he has Zod in it. So, but if you find any more graphic novels that have Zod in it, go ahead. It's as long as you understand the character, before the film, so you get an understanding of him when you go and see the film. So, any story, if you see Zod in it and you enjoy it, then good for you. It's, as long as you enjoy the stories of Superman or Zod or whatever. So yeah, these are the 3 books that I recommend. But there are plenty of other books for you to enjoy of Superman, like All-Star Superman, Red Sun, New Krypton. What else? I'm just looking. Superman and Brainiac. But that's all I can see from here. Yeah, but there are plenty of Superman books that you do enjoy. So just go out to the comic book shop, and if you see a story that you like, go and pick it up. It's all up to you. So these are my top 3 books for you to must read before the film. But if you want to read more, go and help yourselves. Thank you for the question. My first ever comic that I've read has to be the John Byrne the Man of Steel, miniseries, and I picked that up in a shop. I can't entirely remember where, but I saw Superman. I picked it up. I didn't know who he wrote it and what's the story. I didn't even know it was the origin. All I saw was Superman and a couple of comics, the same storyline, and picked it up. My mum bought it for me, or whatever. Yeah, so that's what I read first. And when I finished reading all of it, I wanted to read it again and again and again. That's how good it was. It was a fantastic story, and the art. I love the art. It's like the 90s art, and I love the Death of Superman, the Return of Superman, that sort of art. I love that art. So it's just, when I was younger, when I was reading it, it just grabbed me. It's so good. I just really love the art. And later in the years later, when I started to, when the internet started to go out, and then I got to Wikipedia and all that stuff, I was looking into the comic series I was reading, and I found out how good how good was the writing and everything, and how the reception of the comic. And I was shocked, because I was reading one of the most fantastic series of all time. So yeah, that was my first comic. My first graphic novel. I said that in the first question, was the Death and Return of Superman, but that was my first graphic novel, and the John Byrne run of The Man of Steel. I think it was a miniseries with 6 issues, and that was my first comic. So yeah, it was fantastic. So I really enjoyed that, and thank you for the question.